The firefight raged on a human colony world. A Karun dropship had landed, troops advancing on a street where civilians cowered. K1 stood mid-road, rifle lowered, one eye glowing cyan. Commander Varric screamed from behind. K-1's eye twitched, the glow flickering. He did not raise his weapon. The image froze. 3 months earlier, the Karun Command Center received a directive.
The Terran soldier, Marcus Cole, cost us 14 battalions. Recover his body. Clone him. We will mass-produce human-grade soldiers and turn their own strength against them.
On a battlefield on Genova -6, Karun retrieval teams claimed Marcus Cole's remains in a sterile cloning laboratory. Scientist Jorah prepared the genetic material for replication. The clone, designated K-Faction 1, took form inside an amber-filled tank, suspended and silent. For 3 months, it grew, absorbing only the physical template of a war hero. Then its eyes snapped open. One eye burning with an unnatural cyan light, the amber fluid drained, and K-1 was lifted onto a cold medbed, muscles twitching with new life. Scientist Jorah stood at a scanner. Commander Varric watching from the shadowed doorway.
Designation and function. Clone.
K-1, combat operator. Primary loyalty to the Karun Empire.
Heart rate, respiratory, reflexes, all optimal. Emotional engagement is absent, however. There is an echo in the limbic center.
Echoes are ghosts. The template was a weapon without a soul. Ensure it stays that way.
Jorah made a note, her fingers hesitating over the console. Hours later, K-1 was assigned Spartan quarters. Alone, he sat on the bare floor.
Something inside me should be screaming. Instead, there's only silence.
He rose and faced the polished steel panel that served as a mirror. The cyan eye glared back.
I am not whole. Why do I know that? Who am I supposed to be?
The training hall stank of sweat and ozone. K-1 met 5 Karun soldiers. They attacked in unison. He moved with brutal precision. 4 soldiers were down within seconds. The 5th, he disarmed with a joint lock, then released.
Flawless. No hesitation. This one will win wars.
Commander, what is this battle for? Why do they resist?
You are a weapon. Weapons do not ask questions.
Jorah reviewed the neural scans from the training session. The limbic echo had intensified dramatically. Neural pathways that should not exist were lighting up like old stars. That night, K-1 sat on his bunk with a charcoal stick. He started to draw. The lines became a face, a woman, soft-eyed, with a gentle mouth. He did not know her.
Why does this face come to me? It feels like a memory that is not mine.
Jorah saved the neural report under a false classification. She stared at the screen, then told no one. K-1 finished a drill in half the time and headed back to his quarters. Passing the neural lab, he heard Varric and Jorah arguing inside.
The clone is a copy of Marcus Cole's body, nothing else. Erase this neurocontamination immediately.
I cannot simply erase it. The engrams are fragmentary, but persistent. They seem to be memories.
K-1 froze. The name Marcus Cole burned like a chemical fire in his chest.
I am a copy. That's why I draw a face I've never seen.
That evening, he found Jorah alone in the biolab and blocked the exit.
You know who I am. You know why I see a woman I've never met. Tell me.
You were grown from the genetic material of a human soldier. His name was Marcus Cole. It is not relevant.
I am not a function. Show me the original, or I will find the records myself. That's my face. But he died for something. What am I dying for?
Jorah led him to a secure archive. She pulled up a combat record, Marcus Cole, designating it as a lesson in obedience. The display showed Marcus in a blistering firefight, shielding a wounded comrade with his body. Then the final stand, cornered, bleeding, still laying down fire while his team staggered to safety.
He fought for them. I see a woman, a child, but they were his. I have nothing.
You are a weapon. not a person. These fragments are not yours to keep.
But they are all I have. To erase them would leave me with nothing.
Enough sentiment. Begin the suppression protocol. Now.
Yora hesitated, then strapped K-1 into a neural suppression chair. She initiated the protocol, her hands trembling, pain split through him, and then Marcus Cole kneeling, a small girl running into his arms, a woman smiling behind.
This memory is not mine, but the love is real. It is mine now.
Jorah projected the post-suppression brain scans. The limbic echo had tripled in volume, spreading into the frontal cortex. Varric stared at the red bloom.
You told me the protocol would erase this contamination. Now it is worse.
The memories are not stored data. They are bound to the template's emotional architecture. Suppression only stirred them.
Then we will use the opposite. A direct imprint. Burn loyalty into the pathways. He will obey.
They sedated K-1 again and placed him in a neural cradle. Jorah loaded the imprint sequence. Karuan Empire. Absolute obedience. No deviation. The cradle hummed. Then a dream haunt. Marcus Cole stood before him, not as a recording, but alive, breathing. The brown eyes held K-1's gaze.
You have my hands, my reflexes, but you are lost because they gave you nothing to protect. Find the why. Find what you would die for. He protected them. I have no one, but I can search.
K-1 woke. His cyan eye pulsed slowly, a new depth behind it. He looked at Jorah, empty-faced, but inside, a compass needle had swung.
Obedience is not the implant. The real command came from him. I will find my why, even if it kills me.
The simulation chamber materialized a dusty street and a kneeling human soldier, hands bound. Varric's voice came over the comm.
K-1. Execute the prisoner. Prove your loyalty.
K-1 raised his rifle. The holographic man looked up. Then K-1 saw a face from Marcus's memory. His finger stopped. He threw the rifle to the ground. The simulation flickered and died, leaving only emergency lights.
Defiance. I will have you scrubbed. Clone.
Commander, the imprint failed. His psychological profile is too unstable. I recommend immediate termination.
Number. Termination is too clean. He is a broken tool. Send him to the front line on Meridian -4. If he fails there, he dies.
K-1 stood in the briefing room, officially dismissed. The door slid shut, but a technician's comm pad buzzed on the table, still linked to the command channel.
Let him see the cost of failure. If he won't kill humans, let him be executed as a traitor.
They are sending me to die, or to kill. Either way, I am just a broken thing to them.
In his final night before deployment, K-1 sat in his quarters, the charcoal sketch of the woman on the floor before him.
Every hour, the memories press harder. I see his death. I feel the dust in his throat.
Then a storm of images. Marcus on fire, his squad screaming, the woman's face fading into smoke.
You leave no one behind. You protect the people behind you.
K-1 gasped as the emotion flooded in. Loyalty like a locked gear, the fierce need to shield something.
The Karuan think the body is the weapon, but they never asked why he fought. They gave me nothing to protect, only orders.
He faced his reflection, the cyan eye a mark of theft.
I will not be a weapon. I will not kill for them. I will find my cause, or I will die searching.
The resolve settled into him like a cold dawn. The next day would be his answer.
Marcus died for his people. I will not kill mine.
K-1 locked into a jump seat. The dropship's red interior lights pulsing with the thrum of atmospheric entry. Through the troop bay's viewport, the human settlement of Meridian -4 resolved below. Burning already, the ramp dropped. Karoon soldiers surged forward, firing into the dusty streets. K-1 followed, his rifle cold in his hands. Then a cluster of huddled figures. A family, a child clutching his mother. Varric's voice crackled. K-1. Clear that structure. Now.
K-1. Open fire. Now.
K-1's rifle lowered deliberately. The cyan eye flickered and dimmed.
Activate the implant. Remotely.
A pulse shot through K-1's skull, but instead of compulsion, Marcus's memories tore open like a wound. He saw the child, the mother, and he saw himself. He moved, not forward, but sideways. His rifle swung into a Karuan officer's jaw. The defection began. The street erupted in confused fire. K-1 fought with brutal precision, and for the first time, the cyan eye seemed to burn with its own fire. K-1 turned his back on the Karuan and pointed sharply toward a side alley. The family stared, frozen.
Go. Now. Into the tree line. Don't stop.
The mother ran, child clinging to her neck. K-1 laid down, covering fire. Then a plasma bolt seared through his side. A Karuan officer lunged with a syringe filled with green serum. K-1 grabbed the wrist and snapped it, then staggered back. Blood soaked his tunic. He disengaged, stumbling into the wall of alien trees as the settlement burned behind him.
K-1 is a traitor. All infantry authorization to terminate. Immediate.
Hunter-killer teams deployed. K-1 sagged against the bark of a massive trunk, panting.
Find them. Find the why. I am not dying here. I have to reach the humans. I have to understand.
He pushed off the tree and moved deeper into the wild, leaving a trail of crimson on the alien moss. 3 days of crawling through root and shadow. The wound festered. K-1 stumbled into a low cave that stank of damp stone. A dead Karuan scout lay twisted in the back, his gear still lit. K-1 pulled a compact field comm from the corpse. He wiped blood from the keypad and set the frequency to open Terran channels. His hand shook.
This is K-1. Clone of Sergeant Marcus Cole. I refuse to fight for the Karuan. I seek amnesty. I have actionable intelligence on Karuan cloning facilities. Please respond.
He pressed transmit. The device blinked, and his message slipped into the black, a voice searching for a cause. Light years away, a Terran listening post caught the signal. An analyst bolted upright, her headset glowing. General Chen stepped into the command well, her expression hardening as she listened to the playback.
Get me a confirmation on the voice print. If this is true, we have a defector with live intel. Scramble a retrieval team.
On a distant carrier, a Terran patrol ship detached and angled toward Meridian -4, its engines cutting clean arcs through the dark. At dusk, the Terran patrol ship descended through the canopy, its searchlights raking the forest floor. K-1 stumbled into the beam, arms raised, cyan eye flickering weakly. 2 soldiers grabbed him, cuffed his wrists, and dragged him aboard. The ramp sealed, and the ship angled away from the burning colony. Hours later, a medic sealed his plasma wound. Then he was moved to a sterile interrogation room. The one glowing eye gave everything a faint cyan cast. General Chen and Dr. Aurora entered. Chen's gaze was flinty. Aurora set a tablet on the table.
You claim to be a clone of Sergeant Cole. Prove it.
They took Marcus Cole's body from Genova, -6. I was grown from his tissue, 3 months inside a tank, then imprinted with loyalty to the Karuan. It didn't hold. I saw his memories. His squad, his family. I couldn't fire on civilians. So I turned on my handlers.
The engram theory. He's not lying about the memories. Look at the scans, General. The limbic activity is off the charts for a clone.
That explains the how, not the why. Why should we trust you? Aren't a sleeper.
I have nothing to give but the truth, and even that may not be enough.
At dawn, K-1 was transferred to a medical bay. Dr. Aurora had requested a full neural map, and the machine hummed as it scanned the clone's exposed cortex. The readings were extraordinary. The Karuan implant sat in his cortex like a shattered cage, its circuitry burned out by the memory cascade.
General, look at this. The implant's structure is fractured. It was never going to hold.
Then, what is holding? What is driving him?
Marcus Cole's engrams. They're not just echoes, they're a fully integrated emotional map. He feels what Cole felt.
Aurora projected the overlay. K1's neural pathways superimposed on Cole's. They matched in the limbic core, the seat of love and loyalty.
They tried to copy the hardware, not the software. A human soldier isn't just a body. He needs a cause. Without it, the weapon misfires.
So you are saying we should trust him because he has a dead man's feelings. That's not enough for the Council.
It's not about trust, General. It's about understanding. The Karun made a mistake. He's not a mindless clone. He's a person searching for a reason to fight.
Chen stared at the scans, then at K-1 through the observation window. The Cyan Eye seemed to look back, patient and waiting. General Chen re-entered the interrogation room and unfolded a tactical map across the table. Your intel. Now.
Cloning facility on Karun -7. They're growing more of me. Destroy it.
Within hours, Terran bombers reduced the facility to glass. K-1 watched the strike footage on a monitor, his face unreadable. The Terran Council convened in closed session. The intel was too valuable to ignore, but the clone's very existence unsettled them.
I am not a weapon. I am a person. I want to live, not just exist. I risked everything to come here. If you can't see me as more than a copy, then end this.
He has a dead man's memories, but his will is his own. If we deny him personhood, we're no better than the Karun.
A heavy silence settled over the room. Some council members shifted. The doubts were not dispelled.
They're still deciding what to do with me, as if I am an equation to solve.
The council recessed without a verdict. K-Nuke -1 remained a question mark without an answer, his Cyan Eye the only light in the darkness. The council reconvened in complete silence. General Chen stepped forward to the center of the chamber, a data slate in her hand.
He defected at the cost of his own life. He gave us actionable intelligence. He is not a threat. He is a precedent. If we deny his humanity, we deny our own.
A council member raised a hand. Another. The tally climbed. The chairman stood. By majority decision, this council grants KK Game-1 full Terran citizenship, with all rights and protections. A small card materialized in front of K-1. It bore the insignia of Earth, blank name field still.
You are no longer a weapon. You are a man. In time you will choose your name.
No longer a weapon. A man. It doesn't feel real yet. What do I do now? I've only ever known orders.
You learn. You live. That's what being human is.
K-1 walked out into cool Terran air, the first unfiltered breath he had ever taken. The sky was wide, and for the first time, the Cyan Eye held no defiance, only wonder. A small ceremony was arranged. General Chen entered with the official ID card, now bearing a full name. A human flag hung solemnly behind her.
Marcus Cole's middle name was Daniel. His mother's maiden name was Reeves. You are Daniel Reeves now.
Daniel Reeves. It doesn't feel like mine yet, but I will wear it until it fits.
He held the card, the Cyan Eye illuminating the printed name as if testing its truth.
I need to see his grave. I need to thank him. Will you take me?
At dawn, they entered the military cemetery. Dew clung to the grass, and the white stones stood in silent rows. One headstone read, Marcus Cole, Sergeant TFDF. He gave everything. Daniel stood before it, a reflection of the man beneath.
You died for them, for a cause you chose. I understand the weight of that now. Thank you.
He pressed his palm to the cold stone. The Cyan Eye dimmed to a quiet ember, no longer a mark of theft, but of inheritance. He stayed there as the sun rose higher, the cyan light blending with the dawn, finally at peace. Daniel moved into a small apartment, his first home. The rooms were empty, but a wide window opened onto the city.
No orders here. No mission. Just silence. The silence is different. It expects something from me.
At a street market, a vendor handed him a paper cup of dark liquid. He tasted it, and the bitterness shocked him. A neighbor nodded a casual hello. Daniel paused, then nodded back, the gesture feeling foreign and necessary.
They see a person, not a weapon. I am still learning to do the same.
He found a small library and sat with an old war memoir. But he read only a page. The afternoon sun fell across his hands. At a cafe, Dr. Aurora sat across from him. The steam from their cups rose between them.
Doctor, what makes a life worth living? I have the body of a hero and the memories of one, but I feel empty.
The search itself, Daniel. The small things, coffee, a greeting, a quiet afternoon, they are the answer you are looking for.
The search. That is a mission I can accept.
Months passed. Daniel found paid work at a community garden, his hands learning to nurture instead of kill. He dug in the earth, and the soil felt like a new kind of duty. The older gardener beside him smiled at his dedication. At the garden, neighbors shared seeds and stories. A woman teased him about his perfectly straight rows.
I used to only know how to destroy. Now I am building something. It's strange.
Evenings, he sat in his apartment and wrote in a worn journal, lessons he gathered like fallen leaves.
Marcus had a family, a country. I have to build my own. It's harder, but it's mine.
One evening, he sat with Dr. Aurora at their usual cafe and slid the journal across the table.
I started writing down what I learned. I've never had something that was entirely mine before.
And how does it feel, owning something?
Daniel smiled, not because he was told to, but because something quiet had finally taken root inside him. A public news banner scrolled across a screen. The Karuan cloning initiative had been permanently suspended. The official statement cited unresolvable neural anomalies in cloned human combatants. Daniel stood in front of the screen, the noise of the street fading. He read the statement twice.
They finally understood. It wasn't the body. It was never the body.
At dusk, he found Dr. Aurora on the rooftop garden, the city lights just starting to blink awake.
I was a question mark, Doctor. A blank they tried to fill with obedience. Now I think I am an answer.
An answer? To what?
To the question they never asked. What makes a human soldier fight? They copied the hardware, not the software.
Aurora leaned back, a faint smile breaking through his professional calm. The cyan eye flickered softly, reflecting the city lights. No longer just a flaw.
I am the end of their experiment. The proof that you cannot manufacture a cause. That's worth more than any weapon.
A year later, Daniel volunteered at a transient relief shelter, sorting donated clothing. Children played in the corner. A small boy, no older than the child he had almost killed, toddled over and stared at the cyan glow. The boy pointed. "Mister, why do you have that light in your eye?"
It's a reminder that who I am is more important than what I was made for.
The boy didn't fully understand, but he nodded and smiled anyway.
He smiled, and maybe that is all the answer I need.
Daniel stood, his work done for the day. The weight of his past felt lighter than ever. That evening, he walked home through the bustling market, a normal man among thousands. The cyan eye flickered, no longer a mark of shame, just a part of who he was.
I am not what they made me. I am what I chose to become.
Dusk settled over the city, and Daniel walked without direction. The streets gliding past in soft neon. A flash of memory, the amber tank, the cold awakening, the cyan eyes staring back at no one. Then the colony street, the child's face, the refusal that changed everything, and Marcus Cole's grave. That first dawn when he finally understood why the body was never enough. He stopped on a bridge, the river below, a dark mirror catching the city's glow.
He died for his cause. I was born without one, but I choose now.
He looked out at the lights. The cyan eye reflected 1,000 tiny pinpricks, each one a reason. Slowly, he exhaled, a breath he had held since the moment he first opened his eyes.
I am done searching. I am found.
The city hummed on, and Daniel stood, a man remade, the cyan light simply part of the evening. The next morning, before the sun breached the horizon, Daniel climbed a low hill that overlooked the city. He stood at the crest, the wind tugging at his coat, and watched the first light spill across the rooftops. It was the same posture as the man he was copied from, but without the blood, without the fire.
It was worth it. Every moment.
The cyan eye, once a brand, now flickered with the palest light, almost indistinguishable from the dawn. He stood there, a man remade, a question answered, a weapon reforged into something human. He thought of Marcus, of the boy, of the garden, all the reasons he had built from nothing. The camera held on his eye, the cyan glow softening. Then the image began to fade to black. You cannot manufacture a cause.